Jesus for your presence. So Yeshua is a similar kind of thing. When you pray, he's one who will open doors for your prayers to be received by the Supreme Being, who Yoruba people call Olodumare. Right? So Yeshua is a very important Orisha in the pantheon of the Orishas. Nothing can start unless you go through him and ask him to smooth your way and to open the gate so your prayers will be well received and all your rituals will be well received and so on. Another important Orisha that we have is Orunmila. And that temple in the back there, we walk through in a little while. That temple in the back there is Orunmila's temple. And Orunmila, they believe, he is the one who witnessed the creation. Right? So it's believed when God was creating everything and so on. As a matter of fact, they call him second to God, because he witnessed everything, so he knows what happened. He's also the Orisha who we go to find out anything that we need to know. You understand? So any problems that you have and so on, he's the Orisha that you will go to first, and he will tell us what we need to do to alleviate whatever that problem is that the person's experiencing at that point in time. Right? So the whole divination system, where we get information all the time, he is the person who is responsible for that. So that's after Orunmila. Now we have Obatala, and he is one of the eldest Orishas as well. Now, before I want to go back to the Orishas, because what we believe, right? All the Orishas are aspects of God, right? So it's like one God with many emanations. And all the emanations will come back to form one God. You understand? So it's really one God. People feel this, we believe in one God, one Supreme Being. But you have different aspects of God that you go to for different things. So for instance, when with ladies for love and that kind of thing, if you have problems with marriage and you want love and that kind of thing, you go to the deity that's called Ushu. Right? When you have problems with infertility and that kind of thing, you go to the deity called Yemanja. Things like work and technical advancement and that kind of thing, you go to Ogin. Right? Things like spiritual wickedness, you go to the Orisha partner. So all of them have a different part to play. Right? I show all of you over the foot of Shango. Shango, we believe that we call him the patron saint of Trinidad today, because it is believed when a lot of the slaves were coming across here on the ships and so on, he gave them adoption at the time. That is what kept them and gave them the strength to go on and so on. So it's just that we happen to be here, and a lot of people say, Orisha people, that Shango happen to be the patron saint of Trinidad today. Right? Then you have Oya. She's probably the Orisha that finishes everything. They say she's the mother of 9, so it is like she's the end of everything. You know, after I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, you start again. So she embodies that. So it is said that when we leave this plane and go somewhere else, she's the person who will take your last breath and hold your hand and carry you over into the realm of the ancestors. So that's your Orishas. Another part of our worship is ancestral, because we believe in paying respects to our ancestors, and we also believe that they lived and walked here just like us, so they understand what we go through on a daily basis. Because remember, the Orishas are primordial forces that exist in nature. Their domain is the water, the wind, the earth. All of them exist in some domain, fire, whatever. Right? So that's why people call it a nature religion, because their domain is aspects of nature. But our ancestors, well, that's why once we pay respect to Papa Yeshua, and that's the open way first, the next people we pay respects to will be our ancestors. Because on a day-to-day basis, they are the ones that we honor, they are the ones that we revere, and they are the ones who generally tend to keep us out of trouble. And you know, many times that if something might be happening, you say it's a close call, and it might just ease your way out of something. Many times it's your ancestors who are looking out for you and just kind of push you out the way, or sometimes they get your inspiration to do something. You don't even know why. Somebody just comes to your mind and say, hey, why you don't do that? And many times it's your ancestors who are guiding you and telling you what you need to do at this point in time. And the thing is, the closer you become to your ancestors and the more you pay respect to them and so on, all the guidance that they give you is more apparent. And you can sense it more because you're close, you have a close relationship with them. And then when you walk around, after so you have Eshu, you have the about the Rumelang, about the ancestors, and in this shrine, in this compound, you will see where all of them are. So like I said, that is a Rumelang's temple, and every year we'll do particular rituals for Rumela and so on. And then the thing is with Mother June, when people come to the shrine for help, that is the Orisha she will go to find out what is the problem, so she can say what you need to do to alleviate the problem. Right, and then as you go around, you'll see here is another grove with some more Orishas, and then in the back there, they have like Ogin and Osain and all that. All of them have a different function. And maybe as we walk around, I will explain to you what the different functions are and how you would use them. Right, because we have Osain in the back there, any sickness, he's the divine healer. So any sickness you have, that's where we go first for help. You understand? So that's basically it in a nutshell. I don't know if anybody has any questions on that.
What's the significance, how important is dance in your rituals?
Oh, very important. Very, very important. Because I suppose that is just innate in us. And when we worship, when we come here to worship on a Sunday, that's what we do. A lot of it is rejoicing and singing. We cannot work, it's just paying respects to our ancestors, our Orisha, and we do that with songs and drums and chanting and dancing. Dancing is an integral part of what we do. And I'm sure you all will realize too that we have, this faith has manifestations, right? Where the Orishas now will manifest upon people. People, particular people, not any and everybody, particular people, and that is how they bring messages for us and all sorts of things that happen in the country, things that happen in your home, things that are going on with yourself, what you need to do to get yourself back on par, because we believe that everybody came here with a particular destiny. And your job here is to fulfill that destiny. And a lot of times we become misaligned with that destiny. So that is what your research do a lot of times. Try to put you on that path so you can realize the destiny that you came here to fulfill. So that's basically, dance is an integral part of what we do. Anybody who come and witness a service will realize that we don't sit at all. We don't encourage people to sit. Right? So.
And when the Orisha comes, let's think the jack a little bit. There are certain dance movements that they make that you may be say, well, that is Shango or that is Ognu, because there are different dance steps they may take. And therefore dance is really an important aspect.
I'd like to also add, as well as this, we have 16 Orishas. Complete, also there are 401 Orishas, but generally we know of 16 here. And those are these main Orishas that are emanated out of Olodumare that we worship here as well. So as we go around, we will call different names, but we have mainly 16 Orishas here right now.
And just to reiterate again, you'll have to remember that it is one supreme being, and because people get a little confused by that. And all the different Orishas are different aspects of one supreme being. So it's all into one and one into all. You understand? And each Orisha has a different characteristic. And as you go along, you'll see, so that's how I was explaining to you, you'll go to them for different things, depending on what the problem may be.
And when she spoke of ancestors, I always like to reiterate that we always talk about guardian angels. And we refer to our ancestors as guardian angels. And some of us may have a particular view of what an angel is. But in this tradition, which is heavily ancestral, we refer to our ancestors, of course, our ancestors who have walked in the footsteps of Olodumare, which is God, as our guardian angels.
I have what is it now?
Okay. Of all the different Orishas, it represents the colors and the symbols. So, for instance, this one here is Osain. This the yellow one is Iguala. That would be Mamalata. She is the mother of the earth. So, everything of the earth and everything is her. That's her domain. Though the next one there would be Orunmila, and what you see here is the Kori shells. And that is something that we use for divination to find out what's wrong with us and that kind of thing. Then you have Obatala, his symbol is the dove. right? He's an Orisha that wouldn't really, you don't see very often. They have Ogun is the Orisha that deals with justice. That is why you see these scales there. As a matter of fact, if you look in any court of law, you will always see those scales. And he has and the other thing there is the cutlass. Because he's also the pathfinder and he's the person who will clear the path for you. Now remember, this is all symbolism, It is symbolism. The Orishas don't actually have, but you understand? So he's the person who will clear the path and so on, so that is symbolic of doing that. The other one will be Ebeji, that's a key. He's the person who will open up things for you, that's the hence reason a key. And as they go around, the oars there, that is Yemoja, this is Oloku. So each of those panels they represent. And it's just showing them the symbols, and the symbols mean something specific to the Orisha.
And most of the Orishas will have a connection with forces of nature. When you talk of the Oshun, you will think of the river. You think of Yemoja, you think of coastal waters and so, the mother of us. And you know, they all have a connection with force. It's the wind. You know?
As a matter of fact, and that is so important because as Orisha devotees, we have a healthy respect for nature because we understand that is the domain of the Orishas and God created nature. So we don't go and mess up our beaches and we don't go, and for instance, when you go to the riverside, and that's just our belief, everybody believes something differently. There are certain things when we go by the beach or the river we wouldn't do. And then they have some Orishas that don't use alcohol at all, right? So if we in those places, even though we may not be in a spiritual setting, most devotees won't use alcohol. You understand? So if we by the seaside, you probably wouldn't use alcohol, right? Yes.
You said you all have 16 manifestations.
But it's 16 Orishas, yeah.
Orishas, yeah. Why 16 and not?
I'll tell you what, it is believed that they have many Orishas. And what used to happen, let's go back to in Africa. What used to happen that every region in Africa had kind of paid respect to one particular Orisha. But then they brought all of us here. And they picked us up from all different parts of Africa. So that is why, but then the strange thing is, the ones that the 16 that we have here are the dominant ones that you will hear everywhere. There are some that you'll hear that will be unique still to certain parts of Africa, but any African you talk to, no Oshu, no Yemanja, no Ogun, those are the basic ones, no science, or they know those. They know Runbela and so on. So it's the basic ones that we have, but that is basically what happened.
Okay.
How does one become an Orisha?
How does one become an Orisha devotee? Well, here what there is an initiation process, and what would normally happen, right? At least in this shrine, and what my spiritual mother believes, she will never. It is very unlikely that she will just pick you up like that and initiate you. So you'll probably come to the shrine a couple of times and understand what we do here, and get a sense for what we do here and so on. And then she will decide if it is that you're ready for initiation. And there's a process for initiation when you actually go and you fast for 3 days, and the whole process is about getting rid of all your carnal things. So you leave all the carnal things behind. That is why you're not allowed to bathe and you don't eat, you're fasting, and you band your eyes so you can't see. So you don't have those kind of carnal distractions, and then you really start to pull on your spiritual self. So it's really a spiritual journey, and that's what the initiation is all about. But the only person who will decide in this shrine that you're ready for that process is my spiritual mother, who is now coming down this step. She's a little under the weather today. I think she has the flu, right? So yes, I mean, we don't tell people you can't join or whatever in the case, but there's a process, and that ultimately she'll be the person to decide if you're ready to make that step.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Any other questions?
You said you meet on Sundays. What's your time?
Sundays, general service days, and it's at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 3 Sundays. As a matter of fact, we used to meet every Sunday. And we have now changed it a little bit where we meet 3 Sundays, and the 4th Sunday in every month, members are given the opportunity to be with their families. So we meet 3 Sundays. The last Sunday in every month is what we call Family Day. And we don't normally come. We come the night before because every week we light up the shrine, all the Orishas, right? So we would come like on a Saturday night and we would light up still, but Sunday we would get Sunday off, the fourth Sunday in every month. Anybody else?
The flow.
Okay, this is
The floor is this is actual dirt and not like what you say mother's earth. It's actually where everything is coming from. You plant trees, just the same way as how you use soil and all of those things here to plant trees to be able to grow. We use the dirt here sometimes to be able to get it out of the floor. We use like a clay to be able to mix it to be able to get the fertilizers firm like this.
We also incorporate the those kind of
column.
countdown.
Yeah.
Because
Because it's a Biden agent.
It's Biden.
DP, exactly, that's what it is, DP. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
DP.
Just give us a little punch and tell us why you are.
Yeah. Yeah. But, and that is why, that's another reason why we don't wear shoes in here as well, because first of all, this is holy ground. But secondly, do you remember we told you that Mama Lata is an Orisha and she's and we're always in contact with Mother's Earth. We keep our feet in contact with Mother's Earth. So you know we have our shoes and so on and you get a lot of stuff just from being in contact with Mother's Earth. You understand? So that's it. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Anybody else?
One other question in terms of how do you think, I know in the past it would have been more negative. Have you found that over the years people generally are respecting the Orisha faith more?
I'll tell you what, and this is my experience. We had a gentleman called Omotusho Eliemi who came here from Africa to teach us some of the things that we would have lost over the years because it's only understandable, right? And somebody asked him that exact same question. Number one evening we were inside of here and he was teaching us. And somebody asked, but here I wonder, when we would get respect, when would people start respecting us? And his answer was, when you all start respecting yourselves and respect what you have, then people will start respecting you. Respect is nothing, it's one man from nobody, no? And to me, people are supposed to look at your life and it's supposed to say something, you know? So we try to be exemplars with our own lives. And people say, what is he really doing? But it's not that we going out there and try to demand respect or anybody. We have to respect ourselves first and what we do. Yes.
Okay, I've been teaching for 7 years, and in that time I've only had 2 students that were Orisha. And I had tried to get information on it, you know, little clips on YouTube and stuff. There wasn't much.
Right.
But what I can tell you is those students really exemplified whatever you're trying to project.
Yes.
Because they were one of them I expect to win a scholarship next year.
Right.
Very dedicated, polite, respectful, really lovely children, and they were brothers.
Well, and that's it, I know a habit we used to have a long time because a lot of people in Trinidad and Tobago, right, participate in Orisha worship to some extent. It could be that they do it quietly on the down low and they don't let people know, or when they have problems, they find us, right? But let me tell you something, all the young people in here, all go to school, and my children went to school and they passed through the education system. They went to Trinity College, they went to Fatima College, my boys are in university, and they have always only been that. They didn't go in school and say there was something else because they felt ashamed. And exactly what you say now, people say, hey, you know, these 3 Orisha students passed through here, and they led to a certain type of life. And to me, that is how you're going to get respect. Right? But we never had it. And it's so many because we have children here now, like Wendy's children, who when I first started coming here, they were small. And they went to school and they always, and all our young people say they have African names. That's the next thing, right? Because our names mean something. So yes, I am Tracy, but my sons are not, they're Eje and Adeoshe and Olatunde and so on. And the names are significant, the names mean something, and it also has to say something about the reason why they were put here and what the destiny is likely to be. So whenever a child comes into an Orisha community, right? First of all, Mother June will do a divination to find out what that child's path is. So that divination will tell you so much things. What the child is meant to be doing, and what their name is supposed to be, and what the name will signify. So they're supposed to live the name. You understand that name that they give, they're supposed to live that name. And then, of course, you present the child to the whole community. And then all of us in here, the whole community is responsible for rearing that child. And when this shrine, that certainly happens.
So what are, oh, sorry.
Sorry to
Yeah.
whet our appetite really. Being here is really
True,
very
true.
interesting and an eye-opener for, I think, all of us. But the only thing, I had the maxi drive until 3 o'clock, so
Oh yeah, we have to get
keep
going.
on to Cuba, so maybe we could end this session.
And walk around.
Just walk
And
around.
we have questions of the girl.
Yes, and we'll answer questions.
Extremely enlightening.
So young Omi is going to be leading this segment. We're all here, but
This
she's
is one
here.
of our young members that's very bright, and I must say all of the young people at this year are exemplars. And that is why we as elders like to give the youngsters, they're the ones that's going to take over. So you have to give them the room to excel.
So,